2. Hello, everybody. We are ready for the Cars PSP Cars PSP Run Story Mode by Failracer. Everybody get hyped for that. And Failracer, over to you.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Cars PSP, a pretty impressive PlayStation portable racing game. It's a small one, but for what it offers, it's pretty great. And it's also very interesting, difficult, and fun as a speed game. And I guess with that, I'll be ready to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so right off the bat, you got to do a perfect start in the races, because that first gives you a huge heads up, and second, it allows you to draft other cars and gain nitros, which is a big thing, as you will see over the course of this run. Because nitros is actually the cornerstone of the main driving technique for this game, called power slide boosting. So basically what it is, you press directional button, you press power slide and nitros at the same time. And what it does, first it obviously gives you a little speed boost, and secondly it locks your speed for a bit. And the thing is, in Cars PSP you have two top speeds. One you can reach normally, pretty much, just going in a straight line, not doing anything. And the other you can only reach using NOS. And with power slide boosting, you can lock at your max speed. And the time frame for when your speed is locked is actually enough for the NOS to regenerate just a little bit. So basically, if you got even a little bit of nitros left, you can pretty much power slide boost through the whole race. Especially if you're going in a straight, like in some tracks, including this one. But of course, there are places where you need to spend a lot of NOS, since why nitros management in this game is actually really important. Another thing is, as you could see, I chose Matter over McQueen at the start of the round, after the first quote-unquote tutorial race. And the thing is, Matter just has bigger top speed. But it's not that simple, because later on in the run, we're gonna be switching back to McQueen in the fourth big segment of the game. The reason for that, as opposed to McQueen, Matter has way better top speed, but he has way worse nitros regeneration, he has way worse handling, and way worse speed maintenance as a whole. And one of the later parts of the game features very tight tracks, where all those three parts are extremely important to get good times. And yeah, I actually tested major in the latter parts of the game recently, and yeah, he really falls flat in comparison to McQueen due to those cones. So yeah, switching to McQueen it is. Of course, it's gonna lose roughly 10 seconds, let's say, but they're easily gonna be made up over the course of the last segment of the run. Oh yeah, another funny thing about power sliding. You can actually power slide boost off of those boost pads. So like, if you press power slide and a directional button after going through a boost pad, you will have pretty much the same effect as the power slide boosting with your nitros. Right, this part is scary because this game has very wonky physics, like very wonky terrain physics, and power slide boosting and power sliding at a high speed in general, it really tends to mess with this game's terrain. And later there's gonna be parts where you pretty much gamble with the game's physics. So yeah, in some parts you gotta be really careful. Okay, I messed this up. I messed this up real hard because I not hit the perfect start, not enabling me to draft my opponents and reach top speed almost instantly. And to be honest, this is the hardest race probably to get out of the initial packing. Okay, at least I got some nitros from the jump. And that jump is exactly one of those where you actually gamble a little bit with the terrain being nice to you, because you can actually get launched into a wall there and spun out and lose all your speed, which is not a fun thing, honestly. So, 2 power slides into this shortcut should be enough to maintain the trajectory. Yeah, as you can see, I slammed that wall really hard. But at least it didn't bounce me into the other wall and it did not completely stop me. And this is the outcome I'm looking for. Entering top speed, and then exiting at the speed that is enough to almost immediately recover via NOS and the boost pad after that shortcut. Another thing is the jumps, actually, since we're again doing one of those. You mostly don't want to do little jumps and stuff or small shortcuts. Yeah, because it pretty much loses you speed, loses you NOS, and ultimately it's just not useful. And yeah, by the way, that background noise you just heard, like that engine noise, and oh snap, is DJ, the boss we are getting to now. And on this track, he's actually...
I hope you like music.
He's actually an Easter egg before his boss race. But with power slide boosting and general good driving, we're able to outrun that Easter egg, funnily enough. So like, if I messed up a little bit more, a tiny bit more in like the second or the start of the first lap, I'm sorry, the start of the third lap, if I messed up a little bit more, we would have seen it. And to my knowledge, this is the sole Easter egg in the game, like a properly hidden one. Maybe I didn't look much into that. Oh, nice. Actually 53 first lap. Yeah, that's a very good first lap for DJ Race. Alright. Right? Scary corner. Sad. I didn't hit the boost button. Yeah, this race is actually an example of how much variety Cars PSP offers being this small. Because even if you're racing on the same track essentially, it's almost completely two different races. The one you race with normal opponents and the bonus race, since you have shortcut unlocked. Of course, if you weren't using speedrunning techniques, you'd have this shortcut open by the third lap. But since we're going way too fast, we're basically skipping that shortcut in the previous race because it's just faster. Alright.
Oh man!
And we're done with the first big segment of the race. Oh, I'm missing those.
Look at me! What are you, assaulted officer? You can eat my dirt. Oh, now you're making.
Okay, so there's another thing about power sliding. You can power slide through mud pools without losing much speed. Usually you're either meant to avoid them
Oh, that's good.
or you're meant to jump over them. But you can actually just power slide through most of them and almost not lose any speed.
Oh, no!
But the thing with that one, that exact one at the start of Mazarubin, is that it also
Look at me!
features some really wonky terrain near it, so I just opt out of using that shortcut entirely. You will see though how you can power slide boost or just power slide through those buckles later. Just I think in like 5 minutes
Shoot, this ought to be
in
a neat
another
one
track,
for them.
which is one of the scariest in the game, and you'll see why. Oh, and this rock, by the way, you can clip through it while it's falling. It's meant to be an obstacle, but you can go straight through it at a high speed.
Let's go.
And yeah, On the second lap, we again just got another shortcut opened, which is gonna reappear later on, almost at the end of the game. Shortcuts opening dynamically over the course of the race. Yeah. It's a significant improvement. Good time, good lap time. Mater, yes, he's actually quite overpowered in pretty much all segments of the game but one. And there's pretty much only one car that is faster than him.
I won!
Being Fabulous Hudson Hornet, but Fabulous Hudson Hornet is only unlockable through cheats, and he's currently used only in the Grand Prix category, which is also a fun one, I must say. Alright.
Where do you come from?
And yeah, here we actually don't want to draft, because all the nitros we need we're gonna get from the jumps. It's faster, he's faster for like 3/4 of a game. We're gonna be using him until around 40 minutes into the run.
Oh, that's good.
And after that we are going to switch to McQueen. And surprisingly, I'm kinda still hitting decent times on the laps right now. Like 1:13 for the first lap. More than acceptable. Even a high 1:13. Yeah, he doesn't turn well enough, firstly. Also, hi Tessie, hi Hertzman. Nice to see you here. So, first, he doesn't turn well enough for some of those corners, but the biggest part is his speed recovery is abysmal. His nitros is just not sufficient for keeping him up through the race. And his nitros regeneration is also abysmal. Yeah, you'll see that soon, pretty soon. This run is surprisingly short, but it's also very entertaining. I really like how much Cars PSP gives to the player, being such a short speed game. Alright, next track, by the way, is one of the scariest in the entire game. Oh, despite being in Snowshot segment. And I really oversteered over here, which is a shame.
Oh, that's good.
Mao. Which Racerama though?
I done won.
I know like Racerama on big consoles and Racerama DS are two distinct games.
You can eat my
Oh, sadly I don't know all that much about right? Okay. This is the first scary part about this race. Of course, Frank's appearances on this track are entirely scripted, but it's still scary having so little track to maneuver around in, especially on the second and third laps. I mean, I think International meter is also somewhat better. I think they have the same top speed, but Meter has just better nozzle. I don't remember exactly what he has, but to my knowledge, in International, Meter is a better car. Alright, that was quick. That was actually very quick. And yeah, as you can see, I'm again power sliding over the mud pools and almost not losing any speed. Alright, 56, wow. Some of those lap times are like top tier. If only right now in marathon setting I could keep my performance, but nah. I actually had a run that was only 12 seconds behind my sum of best. I had it die on boost segment at the start of it, so combination of both my misplay and janky terrain physics.
I done won. Pat me on.
And here we go, we're at Snot Road already. Cheap. And again, since we cannot exactly draft Snot Road comfortably, we're gonna just outrun him. Because if you do fast start, you actually just outrun him no matter what. And if you don't get it, you just cannot draft him. And that was a huge mess up on my part. Oh well. You're really gotta be careful with your steering in this track. And overall, to be honest, oh god. Overall, to be honest, this game really requires full concentration, and obviously I cannot provide that sort of performance on a marathon. Alright. Here we go, back to top speed.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I've lost like 10 seconds on this lap alone. This is just how unforgiving this game is, especially at the top level of play. Alright, and now we take this corner very, very cleanly. And yeah, funnily enough, racing lines matter even in Cars PSP. Alright. So we enter this serpentine fine, and we should go fine through it. Yep. Clean. And we go to top speed right out of it.
Shoot, this ought to be in Guinness Book right here.
So, yeah, let me specify. Matter's real top speed is 210 miles per hour, and McQueen's real top speed is only 197, and those 13 miles really do make a difference on those less tighter tracks, since you can mostly maintain the speed. Right? Oh yeah, and those little tornadoes, they can be scary if you misplay, but mostly you can retain control. Alright, Jack. See you soon then. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, the amount of control in this game is great, and the amount of stuff you have to keep in your head.
I won!
And of course... if you make a mistake, you have to try hard to salvage it.
Say later, baby. Holy shit.
Alright. We should yeah. Optimal, of course, I would have outrun solid here already, but yeah. I missed the start. And Iron Horse Junction is another moderately scary track. You'll see why in a second.
Boy, that shoot, this ought to be in Guinness Book right here.
Jump. And jump and jump. You really want to hit this sequence of jumps precisely, otherwise you can get stuck and lose all of your speed. I prefer not to power slide through the deep, because I can get spun out by the terrain down there. So I just go through it and then get up to top speed with the nose I have left.
This is a train yard.
Boy, that's good. Holy shit.
Yep, like this. Yeah, if you don't hit the sequence of jumps, yeah, that's what you were gonna get. And that's, let's say roughly 10 seconds time loss.
Where'd that go?
So yeah, this run can become
Iron Horse Junction's a
a
train
real
yard.
mess
Keep out.
if you don't keep it
You got a
together.
hot date or something? Cars allowed.
Alright.
What's the hurry, hot shot?
Shoot, this ought to be in Guinness Book right here.
Jump. Jump and jump. Let's go. And yeah, one of the next tracks is gonna be a showcase of how good power slide boosting is in a straight line. One. Here again we don't draft, we just hit the... Oh no, please. Thank you. At least I unlocked the shortcut. Yeah, I oversteer today. Because you actually want to both hit that construction to unlock the shortcut, and you want to hit that boost back to have proper speed in said shortcut. Again, another example of how the devs try to add variety in pretty much every track. Bowling pins, unlocking shortcut by destroying something. Cute stuff. Yeah. Of course, I got myself a really generous estimate, considering how overall optimal this game is. But still, I'm kind of underperforming currently. Oh yeah, he totally is. If you lose a lot of speed, you're screwed. To be honest, Mater is pretty much the thing that makes the run so difficult. At least personally to me. Because if you're underperform, you're gonna fall behind even McQueen. Like, if you gravely underperform. He's really a glass cannon. The nitros management for him is very tight. And if you lose a lot of speed, you don't really have all that much to get him back up. Unlike what you can do with McQueen, which I think will get shown later on. Oh, and the funny track for power slide boosting. Okay, we're in the one draft remote here.
Look at me! Oh, where'd you come from?
Now while your gas cap's open.
What? I did not hit those rocks, did I? Well, anyway. So yeah, you pretty much power slide boost through the straight line all the way. Back and forth. Of course, such track structure might raise questions like, can you break it? Can you break the start-finish line? Like, can you cut it very hard? So far, the answer is sadly no. This game is very strict on the checkpoints. Like, really strict. Resetting also, like continuously resetting in different places, also doesn't give you almost any advantage. I hold records for pretty much every full game category in this game.
This ought to be an in and up right here.
which are story mode with cheats, and Grand Prix. And story mode with cheats is major full on, because you have infinite nitros, so you can do funny stuff, and you don't suffer the nitros regeneration and speed regeneration issues on boost. As for ILs, I think I hold half of the individual level records. There is another player, Sepp. He's an amazing player. He holds second place in Grand Prix and Star Mode. I think he hasn't really run Star Mode with cheats. And he holds like pretty much half of the
I
ILs.
done won. Pat me on the foot.
And I golded Interstate. Just clean execution.
Checking out my decals, huh?
Look at me.
And again we hold nose to retain the draft.
You
And
need my dirt. I let you do that.
alright. And yeah, we jump over those.
Where's that go?
Before I tried to destroy those in the first lap, to just go through each lap. But the problem is it can lose you all your speed because of the janky physics. Alright.
Oh man, I'm gonna
Right.
need a tow truck. Holy shit.
Alright. This is totally my mistake. I completely misjudged the line here. Well, what happened happened. I'm still kind of sub 56 pace, funnily enough.
Where's that go?
Like, best possible time is currently showing 55:44.
Look at me.
Alright, let's not mess it up this time.
Oh, that's
Clean.
good. Where's that go?
Clean driving means a lot in this game. A lot. And by clean, like, without most minor mistakes. And I think after this marathon, I'll be gunning for low 55, which is totally in my reach. So yeah, this game is far from done yet.
Holy shit. Shoot, this ought to be an in and up right here.
Right now, I'm like a minute off my sum of best on Wingo. And just today I had a run
Look at me.
that was only 13
Racing
seconds
is fun.
of my sum of best.
Yeah, whatever.
Just
Don't
to
go
put
calling
the
your mom.
perspective. Oh, oops. Okay, I guess I'll be switching later.
Say
I will be
later.
switching for the
Show
wheel well.
some respect here.
Holy shit.
Six.
Another man.
Ain't more beauty.
Because of the power slide boost enhancement, basically, you both boost and oh yeah, you both boost and you use power slide into how do I say it? You simply lock yourself at top speed, and the real top speed of the cars is only reachable via using nose, and usually it's only held for a tiny bit, and with power slide boosting you just can keep it. And it really helps. And yeah, I miss many of them. Mater is pretty similar to McQueen on Little Forest, so it won't be a huge problem to switch after Diesel Forest. And yeah, Diesel Forest is probably the only track from Boost segment which is suitable for Mater still. Maybe if I practice, I could instead switch after this one in the actual runs. Those trucks are again not RNG.
Racing is fun, 'cause I'm...
Because they... No! Oh god. The delay on the menu is sad.
Who the funk?
Alright. Let's go. Yeah, I guess my nervousness shows. So yeah, as you can see, McQueen has way better speed and measures maintenance. And yeah, those are the ridiculous corners. With the most ridiculous probably going to be the next hairpin. Mater would be struggling here without nose and at like 140 miles per hour. Meanwhile, McQueen almost perfectly maintains the speed.
Focus, McQueen.
And this is another case of dynamically opening shortcuts. At the end of the second lap, Lightning Strike will open up shortcut at the end of the race. You'll see it in a tiny bit. And In the third lap, a lightning strike will open up the biggest cut in the whole race. And McQueen also helps to rectify such mistakes as those wall rides.
One for the
Okay.
fans.
Clean. And the next track is the scariest one in the entire game.
Focus, McQueen. Oh yeah! I
Yep, crankshaft mine. It has perhaps the wonkiest collision out of any track in the game. Yep. And it has mine carts going all over the place. And the thing about mine carts is that if you hit them head on, just head on,
meant to do that.
you're gonna lose a lot of speed. But if you power slide / power slide boost into them, you're actually gonna gain speed instead, as you could see a tiny bit earlier. But with that speed gain, oh yeah, and that's how they are supposed to work normally. With the speed gain though, comes loss of control, which is extremely scary in such a tight track. But this first lap is surprisingly clean. Yeah, 125 is good.
Meant to do that.
Oh yeah. At least I avoided being almost completely stopped. Oh yeah, trust me. It doesn't give me pleasant emotions as well.
Oh yeah! Focus, McQueen.
And I even don't take one certain shortcut for safety purposes. And yeah, this track is just
Kids, don't try this alone.
corners, 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 wonky collision, minecarts, corners, 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 wonky collision, all over the place. Carbon Canyon be like, my boy, my boy. Yeah. This collision with minecarts definitely something. And this is probably the track where you're most likely
Kids, don't try this at home.
where you
Yeah.
are getting bounced around almost no matter what. Alright.
Oh yeah.
And we have 2 tracks left. Alright, I wanted to try something, but turns out it does not work. I wanted to try and grab boost, but oh yeah. Obviously, with this jump, you can. Something like this can happen.
Kids, don't try this at home. What are you doing? Hey! Oh, you like that? Have some more. Who you trying
Yeah.
to front?
Oh, and one funny thing about this game, like small story. Cars PSP is actually my childhood game, and I consider it to be really difficult back then. Like in terms of opponents outrunning me and stuff, right?
One for the fans.
And I still consider it somewhat difficult, but now, mostly due to track design and junky physics. But the thing is, once upon a time, Cars PSP as a speed game was completely dead. It didn't have categories it has now. It didn't have ILs. That's around when I actually started running it. And there was exactly one run in the any percent category, as it was named back then. And first, that run was that run had no video at the point I started running, so you would not be able to find it currently.
Oh yeah.
Thankfully, though, I still have a screenshot. And the description of said run said, I walked in thinking it would be an easy ride, but I got into Dark Souls masquerading as children's game. Yep.
Yeah, all right. You took that.
Yep. Almost those exact words.
Hey, you sure you're in the right race?
And another small detail, Chick starting earlier than others. Just
It's all preparation.
all the cute little stuff. You know what, I'm not gonna take those shortcuts. They don't give much and they are pretty dangerous. So yeah, that's one fun little story. So you can just see the superior speed maintenance of Queen and superior bounce maintenance. And yeah, someday the story mode wasn't even sub-hour. And yeah, by the way, less than 45 seconds left of the run. Just saying. And I'll be nearing the finish line very soon. Hopefully that didn't go unheard. Alright. We're nearing the finish line of the last race. And
I am quicker.
time. Alright. 56:09. This is actually a very good time considering the amount of mistakes I've made. Like, it's roughly a minute of my sum of best, like minute 20. And around 10 seconds or so of my PB, like 10 to 15 seconds. And yeah, thanks a lot for having me. Shoutouts to the car speedrunning community. Shoutouts to Khlebamat, this beautiful guy in the chat. Shoutouts to Jack for both being Cars moderator, runner, though he's not really active now. I hope he comes back, and for hosting this whole marathon. Shoutouts to Tessie, who was in the chat. They run Metronational and some other stuff. And yeah, may I ask for permission to post the Cars Speedrunning Discord link in the chat?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Give me a second, then. Alright.
Thank you so much for that wonderful run. Do you have any other social media or anything you want to plug?
Probably my YouTube channel. Right now it acts as a dumpster for my runs and other stuff, but it may develop into something later, maybe.
Cool. So yeah, definitely check that out. Who knows what'll get posted
Yeah.
up there besides awesome cars.
I definitely speedrun far more games than just cars, and
Rigged, fixed. I want.
and will run even more. Oh, and yeah, I would actually like to show that cutscene I just skipped because it's just great. Cheek defeated.
Rigged, fixed. I want a rematch.
Aw, come on, chick. If you're gonna be a loser, why not be a graceful loser? Oh, and guys, thanks for playing. Hope you enjoyed your stay. You drive safe now, okay? Come on, everybody. We got some celebrating to do.
Woo-wee! I'ma get me some more of that fancy view.
If you're gonna be a loser, why not be a graceful loser? And yeah, it's definitely the time after the end of the run. I still have a little bit, I think, right? Since I didn't go over estimate.
If you have something real quick,
I
you can
just
show
want
off
to cover the story a little bit. You basically drive with your friends, and then you encounter delinquent road hazards, gang, DJ, Snowshot with and Boost, and they just challenge you. Then you just kind of race across the radiator springs. You challenge the bosses, and then it turns out that it's Chick behind all of it. You defeat Chick, and yeah, that's how it ends. Just small story, small neat story for a small neat game. Yep. And I think that's pretty much all I had to say. Big thank you for having me, and I wish luck to the next runner.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Failracer, for giving us that awesome Cars PSP run.